So the chances are, if you've been keeping up with the KamaGear socials recently, you may have seen my face pop up from time to time. And you've probably thought to yourself, that young man clearly knows what he's doing when it comes to grills. But you'd be mistaken. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, what I'm doing when it comes to barbecues. I can script a comparison video, I can film an unboxing and talk about it, but when it comes to actually setting up and cooking on it, absolutely clueless. So in this series, come along with me as a complete novice on my journey to becoming a Kamado master. Right here we have the KamaGear V2 Classic Kamado. I've already unboxed this one. You may have seen a video of that, but that was the easy part. Before I even start thinking about cooking, we've actually got to set it up. So let's see if we can work that one out. I think first we've got to pop this open and see what's inside. That might be a good place to start. There we go. Nice little push of the button there. That bit wasn't too hard. We've got this box here. It's quite heavy. Not sure what's in this yet. We'll leave it to the side. Then we've got this. I know this is the ring that goes on top of the fire basket. I believe that's what it's called, the fire basket, the fire bowl, something like this. See, everything I know is from scripting previous videos and watching other people use it. So I am very much just guessing here, but I think we're going to be okay. Some foam in here, which I'm assuming is for protecting it during transit. The cooking grate, I want to say. Maybe. Another mysterious box. This, I think, is the charcoal basket, just with cardboard on it. We've also got the 5 ceramic petals, which form part of the fire bowl. This other bit of foam here. And this is the last bit we've got here right at the bottom, which is the base of the fire bowl. Got another bit of foam on it as well, so that's fun. And that is everything that comes with the Kamado Classic. Now we actually need to put this together, rather than just looking at the bits all lying here and wondering what I'm going to do. Just as I was about to start setting up the grill, I started having a little read of the instructions that come with it. And it says that you've got to set up the stand before setting up the grill. So you can put the grill on top whilst it's as light as possible onto the stand. So before we even worry about any of that stuff that we've just been talking about, we need to put the stand together. So let's do that. This comes in 2 different boxes. This one says the side tables on it, so I'm assuming we'll leave the side tables until afterwards and get on with the main part of the stand. Obviously I've got my scissors to cut this open. See, so far, so good. I can open a box, and if I can open a box, I can build a stand, and if I can build a stand, I can build the grill. So I don't really think there's anything to worry about here. Let's hopefully lift the lid off and everything should be inside. So we've got all the bits here. Let's take the plastic off. I don't think that's needed for the assembly of the stand. So we've got this square frame thing here. We've got all of these parts, which I can only assume is gonna form the legs, maybe. This bag here has all the little screws in it and an Allen key as well. So I'm going to keep that safe because we don't want to lose any of them. Got some more foamy stuff. We've got this box here, which I'm going to open up so we can see what's inside it. Okay, this has got wheels in it. Cool. They are wheels, aren't they? Yes. Okay, these are wheels. I don't know at what point we'll need these. I mean, I think quite early on, because, you know, if you think about the wheels we've got on the bottom, that foam's blown away. Probably go get that. See, this video was never meant to be this chaotic, but the wind just has other ideas apparently. But we've got that back now, so where were we? I think we're going to need these quite early on, so we'll keep in mind that these are right here for when we need them. And then I think this is the last part. We've got this massive circular bit, which is what grill is gonna end up sitting in, probably. Now the plastic's blown away too. So my first tip that I'd give is maybe make sure you're out of the wind, or if you're not out of the wind, just make sure your stuff's not going to blow away. Move this bit to the side now. Actually, we'll just move everything off to the side because we're going to need this area to build it. So let's put this here, move this box out the way. Hopefully this won't blow away. I think we're safe there, he says. famous last words. We've got our instructions here, and it is just a step-by-step guide. Should be fairly straightforward. First of all, we need 2 of the legs. I can only assume that all 4 legs are the same, so it doesn't matter which 2 we use first. And then we need this square frame as well, by the looks of it. And we just put 2 of the legs on. So we've got the first leg here, which I'm just gonna leave like that. Okay, I think now we've got that first leg there, we secure it using one of the wheels. That's what that hole looks like it should be for. So this should just be able to screw into place. I think that's as far as it can go, because now we're just spinning the wheel round. And then I actually think we need to do the other 2 as well by the looks of the instructions. I think that's all 4 of them in place. Just gonna try and spin it a couple more times just to make sure it is all secure. But that seems like we've got all 4 legs on and all 4 wheels on. Now I think we can turn this over so that it's standing on its wheels. Okay, so let's flip this. There we go. I think we're also going to put some extra bolts on, because obviously these aren't the tightest at the moment, but also putting the ring on top is all going to lock them into place anyway. Not sure which way up this goes. I think probably with the flat bit up would make a lot of sense to me. I think we also need the bolts for this part as well to obviously bolt it onto the frame. Let's open this bag up. We've got the Allen key there. Let's get 3 of these out, because each side of this has 3 holes on it, which will match up with the 3 holes that are in here. So if we just do it one side at a time, I think that's probably the way to go about it. Okay, I don't know the best approach to this. Which one should I do first? The next tip for you boys and girls: don't try putting this together if you're wearing a microphone with a magnet on it. It keeps getting stuck. I think I'm now probably gonna have to put the mic on my cap instead, rather than having it on my shirt. It keeps getting magnetized to the stand. That probably looks absolutely ridiculous, but I've seen other people do it before. Anyway, and back to the more important thing, building this stand. I think what I might do here, and I don't know if this is gonna work, but I think to make it a bit easier, I might lie this down on its side so that this doesn't try and fall as I'm inserting it. If it's on its side already, then we've got gravity on our side there. Oh, okay, I don't know if this is gonna help or not, but if we can just get one screwed in from this angle, it should make the rest a lot easier. Okay, so that's the first bolt finally in place. And as always, as you've got the first one in place, the rest of them are always so much easier, but it's just getting that angle right for the first one, and then everything else is fine. Okay, that's the first side done. Good. One side down, 3 to go. Okay, so that's the second leg done, which was significantly easier than the first one. And there we go, that's the third one pretty much done. We've really got it nailed down. We've got the technique on point by now. So it has now been a couple of hours since that last shot there, and that's not because it took me a couple of hours to put on the last leg. That's because my camera died. So maybe before I start building barbecues, I should learn how to make content without having a camera that dies. But with that being said, you may have remembered me mentioning about this box here that I said was part of the stand. Turns out this isn't part of the stand, this is an accessory for the grill. These are the side tables for that. However, what we do have as part of the stand is these 2 little shelves here, which, as the instructions suggest, just go in and slot along the bottom. So that's one of them, and then this is just the other half. And now there we go, we have this shelf on the bottom of the stand. Now we need to put the grill on top of the stand so we can start building everything that goes inside that. That is quite heavy. You do need 2 people to do that. So I'm gonna go need to find an assistant to help me out, because yeah, there's no way I'm lifting that by myself, and I don't think you guys should try either. Okay, so the one problem that we've run into here is that, like I said, you need 2 people to be able to do this. The one condition is those 2 people have to be quite strong. And I think I underestimated how heavy this would be. We now need to scavenge around for another strong person who may actually be able to lift this up.
Don't scratch. 3, 2, 1.
So there we go. Due to all of my hard work, this has now been put onto the stand successfully. Do just want to point out as well, it is quite important to remember, if you are doing this, not to lift it by the hinge, because the hinge is not designed for being lifted up. If you're lifting it, lift it by the body. Remember, you need 2 strong people to be able to do it. Anyway, so now it's time to get to work on the actual grill itself, the barbecue, the main event. But in the instructions, it actually states that you should build the side shelf first. And since we have one, or we have them, we're gonna do the side shelves as it says in the instructions. The moment we start ignoring the instructions is where all hell breaks loose and mistakes start being made, and we've gone through too much already today. We can't afford that. We've got all the brackets here. I'm assuming that's what they are. They go on the sides. And then we've got shelf number 1 here, and then underneath the foam we've got shelf number 2. Well, hey, we've got these bolts on the side here, and I think we've got to take them off to be able to put the brackets on for the side tables. We'll just do it one side at a time. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. Let's twist this off. Twist that off as well, I think.
Just hopping back in to say it's important to remember not to tighten the screws all the way until after the tables are on, so you have room to adjust.
And now I think you literally just put the little sticky out bits, I'm sure that's a technical name. So those go there, and then, oh, that should just push into there. And now we just do that all over again on the other side. Amazing, that's both tables on. Now is for the part that I have been dreading. Not because it seems difficult, just because it seems intimidating. We've got to put together the cooking system. So the key to this, from what I can tell, is just to make sure you get everything in there in the right order, and if you do that, the rest of it should be pretty easy. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, there is a diagram in the instruction booklet that tells you what order to put everything in. So I don't really see how this can go wrong. So first we've got this bit, which is the bottom of like the fire basket or the fire bowl. I know it's 1, 2, maybe you can call it both. Who knows, but this bit just goes in this way up from a look of a diagram. You've also got this little indent at the front, which I assume needs to be in line with the vent, which you can see on the inside. Just make sure that bit's at the front, and then does that just go in like that, or does anything else need to go below it? I think that just goes in like that, and then after that we put the petals around the outside. Now the petals, we've got 5 of them, and it turns out in one of those mysterious boxes at the start was the 5th petal, because there was only 4 that are actually in here because the 5th one didn't fit. So we have got all 5, and I know they are all numbered 1 to 5 as well, and you've got to make sure you put them round in that order so they all slot together properly. So this is number 1. We'll just put that one in. That just sits on the outside of that base. Okay, now we've got number 2. I'm assuming these go around clockwise because it would make sense for, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll see if we can do that. And then you can see with the little ridge, I think it just kind of slots behind number 1, like that. And then we've got this ring here that just sits on top of the fire bowl, and we've got to make sure that the top of all of the petals slots into the bottom of this ring so it's all kept in place. There we go, that seems like that's all in place. That wasn't actually as difficult as I thought it was going to be. But anyway, what we need next is the ash catcher. This was inside the other mystery box, and with this ash catcher you can see it's got this part with holes on the front, so we need to make sure that the part with holes aligns with the vent at the front and the little gap in the base of the fire bowl, if that makes sense. And then that just sits in there right at the bottom, nice and comfortably. And then the next part, we've got the charcoal basket, I believe it's called, that needs to go in there. That's nice and simple. We've also got this divider here for the charcoal basket. You can literally slot that into place nice and easily. Then we're almost there now. We've got the high-rise cooking rack, just kind of sits on there like that. Then we've got the 2 ceramic heat deflectors, which just sit on top of the rack. And then we just have the grate that once again just goes on top. And there's the other half. And I think that is the cooking system pretty much complete. But one thing I can't forget is a top cap that just pushes down on top there, like that. So little confession from me, and you know, let's all be honest here. This is what this journey is all about, being open and honest. When I brought everything across here this morning to set up for filming this video, I forgot a vital part, and that was the handle. I have since completed the assembly of the grill, and realise I have forgotten the handle. So we're now going to put it on. And this is all part of learning. This is all part of the experience that we're going through. We need to use the right end of the spanner, first of all, guys. That's important. There we go. We can probably just do that with our hands, to be fair. We'll just do that one. Oh, we need to do these two as well. And now, put the handle on. What we're going to do is, now we put that one on, just so it doesn't fall off, we're going to just loosely put this bolt into place so it stays where it's meant to. The final one there. Now we're just going to use the spanner to make sure they're all properly tight. Now it's in place. We know that's where we want it to be, so we're actually just going to tighten it properly with this now. And there we go. Now we've got the handle on, nice and secure. Anyway, now that's done and out of the way, back to past Finn so we can continue with the video. And there we have it, a fully assembled KamaGear V2 Kamado Classic grill. To be fair, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Everything was relatively straightforward with the instructions. I think the part I struggled with the most was probably putting the legs onto the stand, but the rest of it was pretty smooth sailing. So I've even surprised myself there a little bit. But I hope that just goes to show how simple it was. And if I'm able to do that with literally no experience at all of putting this kind of thing together, then I'm pretty sure most people out there could do it. But we're now that one step further to becoming a Kamado master, an expert in this field. And that all started with building this. So I think the next step from here is to actually cook something, possibly. I hope everyone enjoyed watching. And if you were following along as well, let us know how you got on. And make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the rest of the journey. Okay, so let's open up the charcoal. And now it's time to light it. Watch out, because Finn's got a flamethrower.